Labor Day. You're looking great. And it's so great to be here with all of my labor friends. And, you know, I got to give a shout out to IBEW on their 110 years. They're celebrating 110 years. You're looking pretty good for 110 years. And we want to thank President Brent Booker and all of our friends who are hosting us today. Thank you, Lina, for hosting us today. I know you know this, but there could not be a more consequential election than the one that we are in right now. We've got Vice President Kamala Harris, who's focused on the future, growing the middle class, and Donald Trump, who is many things, but he's obsessed with the past and he's obsessed with himself. Another way to look at it is this race is about the prosecutor and the felon. And the varsity coach versus the JV. I am so confident, because of all of us working together, that we are going to elect President Harris and Vice President Walz. And there is no question that they're going to be laser focused on improving the lives of working men and women and bringing down costs for middle-class families. That's what their lives have been about. I also have to say I'm so excited to support Elissa Slotkin to be our next United States Senator. Now, my friends, this one's personal to me. This one's personal. I want someone who's going to fight for you every day and loves Michigan as much as I do to be your senator. And that's Elissa Slotkin. And there's another reason it's personal. When I told Senator Chuck Schumer I was retiring at the end of the year, he said he would kill me if we didn't hold the seat. And unfortunately, I think he meant it. So, hey, you got to have my back on this one, which is easy to do. It has been the honor of my life to suit up every day and fight for you in Washington, D.C. And thank you. It has been an exciting opportunity to be there with President Biden and Vice President Harris when we had Democratic majorities in the House and the Senate. Our priorities were bringing jobs home, rebuilding America, and taking on the billionaires and the big corporations to bring down costs, starting with the drug companies. And every step of the way, every single step of the way, we have made it clear that workers have the right to collectively bargain for good wages and benefits and working conditions, period. We have seen the same thing in Lansing with Governor Whitmer and the Democratic trifecta you helped elect 2 years ago in the House and Senate. And more has gotten done in the last 2 years for working people than we have seen in decades. So that's why we have to make sure we keep the Democratic State House of Representatives. Are we going to do that? We got to do that. How many of you are now working in a good-paying union job? How many folks are working? And you're going to be working for a while. You're going to be working for a while because we're rebuilding Michigan because of the commitment of Democrats in Washington and Lansing, working together to get things done. And Vice President Kamala Harris has been at the head of the line in making that happen with the infrastructure bill after Donald Trump refused to act. Does it make a difference if Democrats are in charge? Yes. Hell yes. Hell yes. How many of you know someone whose pension's been protected because of Democrats? Do you know that Donald Trump would not support that legislation? And Vice President Kamala Harris, she's the one who helped make that happen. Does it make a difference if you elect Democrats? Hell yes. How many of you know a veteran who's gotten VA benefits to cover exposure to Agent Orange or poisons from burn pits in Iraq and Afghanistan? Donald Trump, we tried to pass that under his presidency, and Donald Trump actually said our country couldn't afford to do it. Vice President Kamala Harris helped lead the effort to get that done, and over 1 million veterans so far are getting health care. So does it make a difference to elect Democrats? Yes. Hell yes. Do you know someone who has their insulin capped at $35 instead of paying hundreds of dollars a month? Know anybody? You should also know and tell your friends that every single Republican in the U.S. House and U.S. Senate voted with the drug companies and voted no. Every one of them. But here's the good thing. Vice President Kamala Harris cast the deciding vote to make that happen. Vice President Harris cast the deciding vote that has created investments so far in 44 new factories in Michigan, and counting. More is coming. She cast the deciding vote. Not one Republican, not one, supported the Inflation Reduction Act. She's walked the picket line. She's fought for union organizing and led efforts to bring down child care costs for working families. Let's face it, this election should be pretty clear. Vice President Kamala Harris, who stands with working people and supports unions as an essential way to grow the middle class, or a union-busting, self-serving felon named Donald Trump, who talks a good game but doesn't get anything done. We have only 63 days. Whew. 63 days before the November 5th election, and actually voting starts sooner than that. It starts the end of this month. We've got a lot to do to elect our great candidates up and down the ballot and make sure we keep our country moving forward. So just remember this. When you get in your car and you put it in D, it goes forward. If you want to go backward, you put it in R. We are not going back. We are not going back. Not going back. Not going back. That's right. My friends, you know what to do. You've done it before. So let's go win.